Hello, students. Hope you are all well. Okay, we'll start with question number four. We are done with question number three. Question number three we completed yesterday. We are doing question number four of the second exercise of lines and angles. Okay. So first of all, question number four is if PQ is parallel to ST, PQ line segment and ST line segment are given parallel to each other. Angle PQR is equals to 110 degree. Angle PQR, this angle is equals to 110 degree, and angle RST is equals to 130 degree. This angle RST is 130 degree. Okay. We have to determine the value of angle QRS. This is angle QRS. We have to determine the value of angle QRS. Okay. So as you can already see, angle QRS is not made on any of the lines. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to draw a construction. We are going to draw a line which passes through R and which is parallel either to PQ or to ST. We are going to draw a line segment which passes through R, which is parallel to either PQ or ST. Okay. So you want to pass it through PQ or ST, that will be up to you. You can make it parallel to any of those. Okay. So this is the line segment. Let us name it AB. Okay. So let us write down the first of all given. It is given to us that PQ is parallel to ST. And secondly, angle PQR is equals to 110. Lastly, angle RST is equals to 130 degree. Okay. Next is we have to find the value of angle QRS. Okay. So see what I'm going to do is with the help of angle PQR, with the help of this 110 degree, I'm going to determine the value of this angle. Alternate interior angles are equal. Okay. In the same manner, with the help of 130 degree, I'm going to determine this value. Okay. And we can easily identify the angle in between them. Okay, this is one procedure, that one way we can move forward with the question. Another way that we can move forward with the question is, see, another way will be using angle 130 degree by complementary angles, by pair of complementary angles, I can determine the value of this angle. Let's say it A. Okay, and once again using the value 110 degree using complementary angles, I can determine the value of C. Now angle A, angle B, and this angle C should be equal to 180 degree. Sum of ABC equals to 180 degree by linear pair. So we can easily determine the value of angles. Okay, this is what we are going to use. Okay, there are numerous methods to solve this question. Whatever the method you take, the important is you get the correct answer. Okay, so for solution, before solution, we have to write down the construction. Construction, draw AB. I'm making AB parallel to PQ. Okay. Now solution. So for solution, first of all, since line AB is parallel to PQ, so by angle ARQ is equals to angle RQP is equals to 110. Why so? Co-interior angles. Both. I miswrote it. What will happen is both are co-interior angles. That means the sum should be 180 degree. Angle ARQ plus angle RQP is equals to 180 degree. Reason being co-interior angles. Okay, so these two angles are supplementary, reason being co-interior angles. We know the value of one of the angles, angle ARQ. We have to find out angle RQP is 110 degree. So in this manner we can determine angle ARQ is equals to 70 degree. This will be the first result. Using same funda, we are going to determine the value of next angle. Okay, what we are going to do is, first of all, also ST line is also parallel to PQ, and we know that two lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Two lines parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Which two lines are parallel to the same line? Line ST is parallel to PQ, as well as line AB is parallel to PQ. So you have AB parallel to ST. And now ST line and AB line are parallel. So we can say now that angle BRS plus angle TSR should be equal to 180 degree. Once again, reason is same. These are pair of co-interior angles. Okay. So we don't know the value of angle BRS. We have to determine its value, and but we know the value of angle TSR, that is 130 degree is equals to 180 degree. If you subtract 130 from 180, value of angle BRS should be 50 degree. Okay. So in this manner, we determine the value. What we determined is, we determined this value, this angle we determined as 70 degree. This angle we determined as 50 degree. Okay. We need to determine the value of this middle. Now on line AB, on line AB at point R, at point R, at point R, what is going to happen at a point R? Sum of all the angles at point R is 180 degree. What is it called? Linear pair. Angle ARQ plus angle QRS plus angle BRS is equals to 180 degree. Why? Linear pair. Why so? Linear pair. Because these are pair of linear pair angles. Okay. Now we already know the value of angle ARQ. Angle ARQ is 70 degree. We don't know value of angle QRS, that we have to find out. And angle BRS is 50 degree, equals to 180 degree. Moving forward, angle QRS is equals to 180 degree minus 50 and 70 is 120 degree. So finally, value of angle QRS is equals to 60 degree. This is our final answer. Okay. Next question. Next is question number 5 of the same exercise. In question number 5, it is given to you that AB line and CD line are parallel to each other. This line is AB, this line is CD. Both the lines are parallel to each other. Okay. We also know the value of angle APQ. Angle APQ is 50 degree, as well as angle PRD. Angle PRD is 27 degree. Okay. We have to determine the value of Y and X. Okay. So first of all, write down the given. What is given to us? First of all, AB is parallel to CD. Then angle APQ is equals to 50 degree and angle PRD is equals to 127 degree. What we need to determine, we have to find the values of x and y. Okay, this is quite an easy question. Okay, in order to determine value of x, we just need to apply the parallel line equation. Okay, see, for line AB parallel to CD, if line I consider lines AB and CD parallel, which are okay, and I consider QP as the transverse. So how is my figure? This is like this. This is A point. There is B point somewhere. Here is somewhere C. This is Q. This is P, and this is D. I am only considering PQ transversal. Okay, I'm not talking about PR presently. I'm just considering PQ transversal. Okay, so what is happening here is this angle is X, and I already know the value is 50 degree. Can you guess what is the value of X? Yes, the value of X is 50 degree. Why so? Because of alternate interior angles. Lines A, B and CD are parallel. So, and PQ is the transversal. So, value of X is equal to 50 degree. Why? Alternate interior angles. Okay, let's fare it down. Since AB is parallel to CD and taking PQ as transversal, taking PQ as transversal, what happened here is X is equals to 50 degree. Why? Alternate interior angles. Okay, so we have determined the value of X. Next, we have to find out the value of Y. Okay, sorry. Next, again, this time again, I'm going to use AB is parallel to CD, and this time I'm just going to look at another transversal line, that is PR. So once again, I have two parallel lines. This line is AB, the lower line is CD, and this is the transversal PR. Okay, on this transversal, this angle is 120 degree. Can anyone tell me what is this angle? Yes, it is 120 degree angle. Concept being same concept, you are again using alternate interior lines. Okay, because these two lines are parallel. This is the transversal, PR is the transversal. So this whole angle is alternate interior angle. Which angle I am talking about? If you see in the diagram, this is whole angle that I am talking about. This whole angle, the value of this whole angle should be equal to 120 degree. So what that is 127 degree. Okay. So what does it mean? This means that 50 plus y should be equal to 127 degree. 50 degree plus y should be equal to 127 degree. Okay. So we'll fare it down. Okay. First of all, and for AB parallel to CD, AB and CD as parallel, and taking another one PR. This time we are taking PR as transversal. We are taking PR as transversal. Okay. So what is happening here is angle APR is equal to angle PRD. Why so? Alternate interior angles. Okay. Now we already know the value of angle APR. APR, we know APR is sum of 50 degree plus 1. And angle PRD is 127 as that is given to us. Okay. So we can easily determine the value of Y. Value of Y is 127 degree minus 50 degree. So your final answer is 170. Sorry, not 1, 70, 70. So value of y is going to be 70, 70. Okay. Simple. We subtracted 50 from 120. It is, sorry, 127. It is 77. So this is your final answer. Next is question number 6. This is one of the tougher question of the harder question of your exercise. Okay. This is question regarding a mirror. In the diagram, you can see that on line PQ and line RS. This line PQ and this line RS, there is a portion that is being shaded. There is a portion that is being shaded. Okay, this is the shaded portion. This shaded portion indicate that this glass, this this line is not just a line, it is a mirror. Okay, so whenever we represent a mirror using any diagram, we use this shading. Okay, simple glass can be represented like this, but when we represent mirror, we have to shade one of the sides of the mirror. Okay, if you see any mirror of your home and see its back side, you will see a coating of silver oxide. Okay, so that is the reason your glass reflects. Okay. Okay, next what we are going to use is we are going to use a concept from your science. Concept of reflection. Okay, concept of reflection you might have learned till now. In reflection, you have there is a concept called point of reflection. There is a concept called normal to the glass, yeah, normal to the mirror. There is angle of reflection and angle of incidence. So let me remind you once again. Suppose this is a mirror. Let me make this again. Suppose this is a mirror and I shade it backside as like this. This is coated on one side by silver oxide. Okay. In this mirror, I have one angle of incident ray. This is incident ray. What does we mean by incident ray? The ray of light that is coming to the mirror. The ray of light that is coming to the mirror. Incident ray meets the mirror at the point of contact. This point is called point of reflection. That means this incident ray, wherever the light sources, this incident ray comes to the mirror and meets it at point of reflection, and then the ray is reflected. How is the ray reflected? There is an imaginary normal line. Imaginary normal line. This imaginary normal. This imaginary normal is perpendicular to the mirror. This imaginary normal is perpendicular to the mirror at the point of reflection. Okay. So what happens here is the angle of incidence. The angle of incidence is angle made between the incident ray and the normal. The angle of incidence is the angle made between incidence ray and the normal. Is same as angle of reflection. So whatever the value of angle of incidence is, the same will be the angle of reflection. The same will be the angle of reflection. This is the reflected ray and this is angle of reflection. The value of angle of incidence and angle of reflection is same for any reflection. This is reflected ray. Okay, so this was the basic idea of how the reflection works. There is a light source. Out of the light source there comes a ray of light that meets the mirror at certain point. At that point a perpendicular, an imaginary perpendicular, I am again and again saying this normal is an imaginary perpendicular. Okay, an imaginary perpendicular is drawn to the mirror. The angle of incidence is angle between incident ray and the normal. So the angle between incident ray and the normal is same as the angle between reflected ray and the normal. Okay, so normal is the reference line. That again, normal is an imaginary line. You cannot see actual normal as well as you cannot see actual ray or reflected ray, but normal is an imaginary line that you imagine which is perpendicular to the mirror. What we have to take out of this, we have to take that angle of incidence and angle of reflection are same. For any mirror, angle of incidence and angle of reflection are same always. Okay. So based on all this knowledge, let me tell you something. If any question regarding mirror comes to, if any question regarding mirrors come to, what you need to do is you need to draw a construction. And for the case of mirror, the construction are always same. What do we need for the construction? At every point of reflection, at every point of reflection, what we need to draw a perpendicular to the mirror. At every point of reflection, we need to draw a perpendicular to the mirror. So I have 2 points of reflection in this diagram. A point of reflection is point B and another point of reflection is C. So first of all, I am going to draw a perpendicular from point P. This line is perpendicular to PQ. And another one perpendicular from point C. This line is perpendicular to RS. Okay. So I've drawn a line BM and CN such that BM is perpendicular to PQ and CN is perpendicular to RS. This angle is 90 degree as well as this angle is 90 degree. Okay. In this manner, I have two angles of incidence and two angles of reflection. At point B, at point B, this angle is angle of incidence, let's say I1, and this angle is angle of reflection, let's say R1. Next is for point C, this angle is angle of reflection and this angle is angle of this angle is angle of incidence and last angle is angle of reflection. Okay. So in this manner we can understand the figure, right? Let me remove unnecessary things. This is what I was with this I have explained you the figure correctly. Okay. Now let's see the question. Question is, in the given figure, PQ and RS are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. So we are already given that PQ is parallel to RS. Mirror PQ and RS are placed parallel to each other. Next is an incident ray AB strikes mirror PQ at B. AB is the incident ray. Okay. The reflected ray moves along the path BC. This is the reflected ray. This meets at point P and is being reflected towards this direction. Okay. And then it moves on to point C and get reflected from that there again. Okay. And so we have CD. CD is again a ray which is the reflected ray from point C. So we can say from for point B there is for point B, the incident ray is AB. For point B, the incident ray is AB and reflected ray is BC. And for point C, the incident ray is BC and reflected ray is C. Okay. The reflected ray moves along the path BC and strikes the mirror at C and reflects again CD. So CD is your final reflected ray. What the question is asking finally, it is what we have to prove. We need to prove that AB line is parallel to CD. Line AB and CD are parallels. Line AB, or you can say the ray AB and ray CD are parallel to each other. Okay. So, students, let me remind you once again. When we were proving that any line is a straight line, I told you you can use only two things. You can either use vertically opposite angles or you can use linear pair. Mostly we were using linear pair. Okay. So in order to prove any line as a straight line, we use linear pair. We say that at that point, the total sum at either side of the line is 180 degree. Okay. Similarly, for the case of proving any pair of line parallels, in case we need to prove any pair of lines parallel, what we do is we do three things. We either prove that corresponding angles are equal, or we prove that alternate interior angles are equal, or we prove that co-interior angles are supplementary. If any one of this we can prove correctly without a doubt, then both the lines are going to be parallel to each other. Okay, so we are going to apply the same procedure here. I'm going to prove that angle ABC and angle BCD are both equal. If both of these angles became equal, then the lines are going to be parallel. Okay, now let's start it. uh, yes, let me write down construction first of all. For construction, draw uh, MB perpendicular to PQ and NC perpendicular to RS. Okay, you have to draw two perpendiculars, one perpendicular this, another perpendicular this. Okay, so first of all, let's see. First of all, first of all, I am going to prove that line BM and CN are perpendicular. Since we are given that PQ is parallel to RS, we are given that lines PQ and RS are parallel to each other, and MB, not angle M. Let's take angle MBP is equals to 90 degree. Why angle MBP is 90 degree? Because MB is drawn perpendicular to PQ. Okay, I'm saying this angle is 90 degree. Sorry, this angle is 90 degree. This is what I'm saying. Okay, now what we need to focus on, angle MBC is 90 degrees, so I can also say that alternate angle to it is also 90 degrees. Angle CMB will also be 90 degrees. Why so? Alternate interior angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. Okay, so angle CMB is also going to be equal to 90 degree. Angle CMB is also going to be equal to 90 degree. Okay, now angle CMB plus angle NCM NCM is equals to 90 degree plus 90 degree. Why? Angle CMB we already proved 90 degree, and angle NCM is also 90 degree. Why so? Because we have drawn NC perpendicular to RS. NC was perpendicular to RS. That is the reason. Okay, so it is equals to 180 degree. Now we already know if pair of interior angles for two lines are supplementary, then both the lines are parallel. Okay. Since co-interior angles are supplementary, we can say that since co-interior angles are supplementary, okay, that means line BM is parallel to NC. Line BM is parallel to NC. Okay. I've proved that these two lines are parallel. Okay. Now BM is parallel to MC. We have proved taking BCS transversal. What I have done is I am going to draw diagram again to show you clearly. What I'm doing is I am only focusing on this part. What I'm saying is we have proved that BM and CN lines are parallel. Lines BM and CN are parallel, and we are taking BC as the transversal line. So it must be obvious that these two angles are equal. Why so? Alternate interior angles are equal. That means angle MBC is equal to angle BCN. Okay, MBC is equals to angle BCN. Why so? Alternate interior angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. Okay. Now see in the diagram, we have proved that angle of reflection, this angle for the first point P and angle of incidence for the second point C are both equal. We already discussed that angle of reflection for any point is equals to angle of incidence for that point. So I can say I1 and R1 are equal, I2 and R2, I2 and R2 are also equal. Okay, let me draw this diagram for you. Let me explain it more clearly by drawing this diagram again. Okay. What I am talking about, this is the diagram. Let me draw the perpendiculars first of all. So this was the first perpendicular and this is the second perpendicular. We name this one M and this point M. What I am trying to tell you is we already know that the angle of incidence and angle of reflection are same at a point. So this I1 and R1 are equal. I am saying I1 is equals to R. Also, using the same method, using the same concept, we can also say I2 and R2 are also equal. I2 is equals to R2. Why so? Angle of incidence and angle of reflection at the point of reflection are both same. Okay. Now let's see. We have proved that R2 and sorry R1 and I2 are equal. We just proved that this angle of reflection at point P, and this angle of incidence at point C are both equal. Okay, that means I1 should also be equal to I2, and that also means R1 should also be equal to R2. What I'm trying to say is we have concluded that these four angles, all these four angles are equal to each other. That is what we have concluded. We have concluded that all these four angles are equal to each other. Okay. Now we are going to use this concept uh, to prove our point. Okay. Let me write it in this way. Okay. We have already proved that angle MBC and BCN are equal. Now, MBC and BCN are equal. I will mark that it's equation 1. Let me make a few more changes in this. How about I say or twice of angle MBC is equals to twice of angle BCM. Okay. I have multiplied 2 on both sides. Okay. The reason you will understand as we move on with the question. We already, since we know, since we know for a mirror, since we know for a mirror, the angle of incidence is always equal to angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Okay, that means What does it mean? It means that angle ABM is equals to angle MBC is equals to twice of angle, sorry, angle ABM and angle MBC are equal, or we can say that twice of angle ABM is equals to twice of angle MBC is equals to angle ABC. Okay, let me mark this equation 2. Similarly, at point C, what is happening at point C? Angle BCD is going to be equal to twice of angle BCN is equals to twice of angle NC. Okay, twice of angle BCD, twice of angle BCD. This is BCD. Twice of angle, sorry, angle BCD is equals to either twice of angle of incidence or twice of angle of reflection. So I'm going to use equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. I'm going to do use equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. How? Angle twice of angle MBC is equals to ABC. So instead of twice of angle MBC, I'm going to write angle ABC. And instead of twice of angle BCN, I'm going to write BCD is equals to angle BC. Okay. Now see, watch carefully. What I've proved now is this was our incident ray, this is reflected ray, this is again final reflected. This point is A, this point is B, this point is C, this point is D. I have proved that angle ABC and angle BCD are equal. I have proved that angle ABC and angle BCD are equal. Now we can say that since pair of alternate interior angles are equal, since pair of alternate interior angles are equal, that means AB line is parallel to CB. That means AB line is parallel to CB. Okay. So I know it is a bit hard to grasp all this question at once. Okay. So what I expect you to do is do this question, practice this question again and again, and you will get it. Okay. Watch this video if you do not get at the first time. And once again, all the questions of geometry are to be done in your homework copy. Theorem you can discuss in your classroom. Okay. Thank you for it.